A lot of you, this sounds crazy, but guys, God's given us everything we need.
Full-time crazy person and part-time leader of the anti-vax organization Vaccine Police, Christopher Key, has a new conspiracy theory that he says fights COVID-19. Drinking your own piss. Check this out.
The antidote that we've seen now, and we have tons and tons of research, is urine therapy. Okay? And I know to a lot of you, this sounds crazy, but guys, God's given us everything we need, okay? And I'm going to give you, again, I test and prove all things, okay? This has been around for centuries. We've got research after research, documented, peer-reviewed, published papers on urine. We do. We have this.
The uncomfortable silence in the room shows you even his own followers are having a hard time believing this. It's getting to the point now where drinking your own urine is supposedly, according to him, the way to fight COVID-19. Obviously, this is completely insane. There's no science at all to back this up. And in fact, I'll get to more science on urine therapy in a second here, which even I learned some things there because I thought there were some uses for urine that apparently is not true. So we'll get to that. But first, reached for comment by the Daily Beast on Sunday night. He doubled down on what he calls urine therapy and railed against quote-unquote foolish people who took the COVID-19 vaccine, which is, of course, safe and effective. Now, I also want to get to a couple of reactions online that just made me laugh. So this from Blaine Capatch here saying, and if that doesn't work, eat shit. And this one from Anthony Fantano really cracked me up. We need Joe Rogan to bring this guy on ASAP to talk about the media suppressing this miracle cure. Maybe him and Joe can go back and forth doing piss shots, even sip each other's pee a little bit for some extra immunity. Oh my God. You know what? This isn't crazy. Considering what Joe Rogan, the kind of things he has been pushing around this pandemic, would not be all that shocking if this happened. I mean, minus the, pee shots part, but having this guy on wouldn't be out of the question. Now, just to, a little more on this Christopher Key man, I don't call him man, this Christopher Key person, vaccine police leader traveling country with flamethrower, jailed for trespassing. To show you the kind of genius we're dealing with here, speaking to a court-appointed attorney outside the courtroom, Key could be heard stating, quote, "Again, you can't. I'm competent. I'm not insane," Key continued, fumbling with a series of legal terms before claiming he is a complete, total free man. Quote, "I am completely sane. I don't need an attorney," he added. "I am a free man." One of the biggest giveaways that somebody is not sane is when they have to tell you that they are completely sane. If they have to tell you, "I'm not insane. I'm completely competent," chances are there's something else going on there. Now, let's get to a little more on urine therapy. So this is, of course, separate from this insanity around COVID-19. But even the idea of urine therapy, there's no science behind it. This has been, look, even I have been taken, and not by the drinking part of it, but I have heard that if you get a cut and there's nothing else to clean that cut out, then you should pee on it, which apparently is not true. So I'll get to that part in a second. But in terms of hydrating, is it hydrating? Drinking urine isn't usually good for you, but what if you're stranded on a desert island? Can drinking your own urine save you from dying of dehydration? Although it makes for a dramatic movie scene, this is just a myth. Drinking urine when you're dying of dehydration will be about the same as drinking seawater, only yuckier. Urine contains concentrated salts and minerals. To process salt, your kidneys require a certain amount of water. To compensate for increased salt intake, you'd have to pee out more water than you take in from urine. This would actually accelerate the dehydration process. The U.S. Army Field Manual also instructs soldiers not to drink their own urine in a survival situation. So, don't drink your own piss. In case you're tempted, now you know, no benefits, don't do it, not good for you. This is from Healthline, by the way, but this information is readily available other places as well. This is from the Mountain Safety Research saying the same thing as well. It will not rehydrate you. So, complete myth. But let's get to another one. Is it sterile? Which I thought it was, but apparently, in a word, no. The myth that urine is sterile is a pervasive and lasting one. Even some doctors don't know it's just a myth. The myth about urine being sterile likely dates back to a study of urinary tract infections conducted back in the 1950s. During the study, samples of urine that showed no signs of UTI were labeled negative. However, the absence of a UTI, which is caused by an overgrowth of bacteria, isn't the same as the absence of bacteria. More recent studies have shown that urine does in fact contain bacteria that could be harmful if ingested or introduced into the bloodstream through a wound. So don't piss on your cuts either. There we go. We learned something today. Don't drink your own pee for COVID. Don't drink it to hydrate yourself, and don't pee on your cuts to clean it. So, you thought you wouldn't learn anything today in this video about this anti-vaxxer pushing this BS treatment for COVID, but you did.